Good morning, Instagram, or wherever you're watching this on the World Wide Web. Good morning, good morning, good morning to another lemon water and woke words. I feel like this is crooked. It's gonna bother me. Maybe I'm lying. Okay. How are you guys doing? How are you feeling? Let me hear you. Let me see you. Say hi. If you're watching this on the replay or live, I got my lemon water. All right, guys, today we're talking about authenticity. And you know what's funny is that I always used to say, I'm too real, I'm so real. I can never be fake and this and this and that. But funny enough, I had a little bit of a realizing earlier this year that I actually have been not so authentic, if I'm being completely honest. Because I realized that I have been kind of hiding something from like people and my business and stuff, which was this huge part of me that I didn't realize was such a huge part of me until it kind of became more mainstream and popular. And by that I mean this mindset aspect, this of like self-development, personal development, whatever you want to call it. Like I've been studying this shit for like over 10 years, and I realized it was something that I really hid from people, everybody, friends, like, you know, Instagram, whatever. Before I even had a business site, or like a business page and stuff like that. And afterwards, it's not something that I would come out with. And it was hard to explain to you, like, even when my friends would come to me for advice or whatever, they'd be like, oh, like, how do you know this stuff and whatever. I felt like, can I tell them the books that I'm reading? Can I tell them about this meditation thing? Is it weird? Like, especially when I used to listen to, or I still do listen to Abraham Hicks, and I mean, come on, you guys, like, that's pretty weird. Like, how do you explain that there's like this lady channeling, you know, some higher power or whatever? It's hard. So, and I just wasn't really in the environment. I don't know if a lot of you guys know, I was in the nightlife industry for like 10 years, which really intensified my desire for self-care and this other part of me, which is this kind of mindset work. And so yeah, I hid it. Like I hid all of that stuff for many years. And I realized like that's a little inauthentic, right? And even with like my practice and stuff, like, you know, I just felt like when I found like that self-help section in Barnes and Nobles, when I used to like live in LA and just run to Barnes and Nobles and just go up and down the aisles to see what popped out at me, it was always in the self-help section because I just was really intrigued by myself and people and understanding myself and people. And that's really what the gist of it was. So that's the road I took in terms of like after college, what I could like, what I wanted to actually read about, what I actually wanted to learn more about. It was self-help. So, and it was like such a weird aisle to be on. Like I was like, you know, because there's just like all the titles are clearly like a little bit they're just embarrassing sometimes. You know. You would think like if you're picking up like Think and Grow Rich, people are gonna think like you just want to get rich or something, and you think that if you're picking up, you know, these other, I'm trying to like look around see what books I have here with like these titles, like Mindfulness for Dummies, like it's a good book. Okay, literally anything you want to know about mindfulness is in that book. But yeah, so it just felt like an aisle to be like kind of ashamed of, like going down on. I think there's even like this Sex and the City episode where Charlotte wanted to buy this like divorce book, which is like obviously self-help, and she couldn't like bear to do it like in person. I think she had it shipped by like Amazon or something, which is just, again, goes to show not something that is like, seems to be, it seemed like it had some kind of, I don't know, stigma around it or something. I just thought it was the industry that I was in, since it was just like not necessarily about that. It was actually the opposite of that. So yeah, so when I just really embraced that side of myself this year and actually basically transformed my whole business to be mostly talking about self-development and mindset work and whatever, because really mindset work is just self-development, right? It's like, if we're being real, that's really what it is. And now mindset is just like this cool new word that people have kind of, adopted. But so yeah, so once I started really accepting that side of myself this year and talking about it, I just really found that I'm much more passionate about what I do. Another thing really, which was something that I was kind of inauthentic about, was my practice too, like my fitness practice. So, when you first start out, you're just like, yeah, I'm teaching a workout, but, and, the way that, they teach you to kind of market that and stuff, it's like, of course, you're gonna look different. And this is, a class for core and arms. This is a class for glutes and legs. And, when you create content for stuff like that, it's like, here's this workout, and, come to class, and here's this workout. And they just kind of teach you to market the superficial stuff, which is 100% okay, because it's real, right? It's real that these workouts do change your body aesthetically, physically, like, you can have those changes. But if I was being authentic, then, if I want to be authentic, then that's not why I created my business. It really wasn't at the forefront. And I know that, losing weight or what have you is very important to some people. And again, I'll say this is part of my message. You have every right to want what you want. I think that it's absolutely okay. But ultimately, the reason I started my fitness practice was to share a tool that made people feel better. And that's the truth. That's when it, like, this is what I use this tool, this workout for personally. I found that it translated into my life in more ways than just physical, like way more than ways than just physical. Like, yes, I love the physical benefits because I did suffer from whiplash. It did help me strengthen my body so that I had better body function and less pain. And yeah, my body looked pretty good, when I was doing this workout, but it never really was at the forefront. It just wasn't. It was like, of course, I want to do this workout. I want to own a studio so that people can go there and they know when they do that workout, they'll feel better afterwards. Everybody that's going to go in, they're going to come out just feeling better, vibing high, right? Like, that's what I always say. And that's really what it was all about. And really, it was kind of like a manifestation tool if I'm really starting to be super authentic, because I've always been into everything in regards to mindset, right? And manifestation is just kind of like one of those things that it goes kind of hand in hand with that, right? And this, again, can be a little bit woo-woo for most people, but that's just it. Like, I want to create things, and I think that's part of being human, is that you want to, and manifestation is not really a word that I use, but creation definitely is, because that's definitely what it is, right? Like things start as a thought in your mind, and then next thing you know, you can create them and have them in real life. And so for me, fitness was just a manifestation tool, because I knew that anything I wanted to create would make me feel good, right? So if I wanted to achieve those things, create those things, have those things, I needed to be at the level of where they are at, which is feeling good. And this fitness tool was a tool for me to always be able to get into that state, to change my state from stressed out or overwhelmed or unhappy or whatever it is, sad, mad, any kind of negative emotion. If I went into that class, I just knew that there was nothing, like I could not think of whatever I was worried about, whatever I was sad about, whatever I was mad about. I couldn't think of it. I was like, I was like doing too many fucking burpees and sit-ups and this and that. Like it just was like the class just didn't stop. So like the gym couldn't do this for me, because like you stop, you scroll, you change the music. It just didn't do the same thing for me. So, but I knew if I went to that class, it was just like a hack. So that's really why I started this practice, because I wanted to share the tool that helps you feel better, vibe higher, with everybody. Okay, because really, like, I just always wanted to empower people to live their best life, be their best selves, and that's really what the gist of my practice is, right? Is just how to be your best self. If that's whatever that is that you want to create in your life or within yourself, you are totally deserving of whatever that is. So most likely it is at the level of feeling good, and so this workout is the perfect hack for that. So, I fell into that marketing kind of verbiage, that again is absolutely true and absolutely okay to want and have, and most people want. But I feel like my message is just going to be more authentic if I just stick to what this really is for me, which is just, it's a tool to feel better, okay, vibe higher, create a stronger mind, and a healthier body. That's it. So, what I feel like, because with my intention with a lot of these lives is to talk a little bit about business, to let you guys know a little bit more insight on me, and to connect with you more. So when it comes to business and being your authentic self, and I know like you guys probably hear about this a lot, especially if you're business owners and stuff like that, and you're in self-development and whatever, but that is your superpower right there. Because you don't know how many women I speak to, how many of my clients, every single one of them, it's like something that comes out of their mouth is like, oh, but the market is saturated, or I mean, you don't even say these words, but like, there's somebody else doing what I want to do. And what? And are they you? Like, it's okay. It's okay that somebody's doing what you're doing. Like, that's great. That means like, you don't have to do a proof of concept anymore. You don't have to like prove like what you're doing anymore works. But people already know if it's out there, then good. People are making money. That means it's a proven product, service, whatever. That's great. Great news. Congrats. But they take it as like, well, I can't do it now because there's no room for me. And this is such a womanly kind of thing. It just is. It's a statistic that when women see other women doing something or whatever, they think like, oh, she's already done it, I don't have to do it, or I can't do it, there's no room for me. When men see it, they're like, oh, that guy did it, now I can do it too. It's just nuts. So the way to kind of get around that feeling is to shift your mindset as far as like being your authentic self will attract the people, the customers, whatever it is, to you, okay? Because that's what's going to make you different from the next person doing the exact same thing you're doing, sharing the exact probably same message you're sharing, making the exact same products you're probably making. There's always a way to inject your authentic self into your business, and it's going to be what differentiates you from the other businesses, and it's what's going to make your business more attractive or less attractive to people, right? So you are going to end up with a very solid, involved, committed community, and in the marketing world they call it raving fans, right? The more just authentic you are. So it is something to move towards, embrace, and absolutely hone in on what makes you you, right? So I know what makes me me in my business is just speaking about the things that I have loved for so many years, which is like this self-development mindset work, and really, understand, and injecting that the message of that fitness is just a tool to feel better, to make you better, to, basically help you step into the best version of yourself at any moment. If you can change your state at any moment, how powerful is that when you already understand that, when you're creating something like a business, for instance, like you can't do that from the place in your brain that only operates out of fight or flight survival mode, because that's, it's stressful, it's scarcity, it's all these negative things that are not going to serve you in your business, right? And I basically make, I share tools for ambitious women, right? Ambitious women, ambitious busy women. That means like busy moms, busy professionals, ambitious entrepreneurs, like whatever it is. I share tools specifically for these people because I understand them the most. And I know that the best tools for them are going to be something that changes their state in some way or another. Because I know with states that they deal with, sometimes they deal with angst. So here's a class that gets that angst, purged from your body, and now gets you Zen AF, right? I share tools like mindfulness and meditation, okay, so that you can, create more time and energy in your day because it allows you to focus, right, and be present. And I share tools that make you happier, right? Because, basically every single thing that I share is for you to vibe higher and be happier. So these are the tools that I share for these specific people because I understand them the most. So that is what, for me, really sharing my authentic self really means, right? Is creating something for specific people in mind that I relate to the most and I know will relate to me the most. And the more I share that, if I was just on here sharing about abs and big booties, which I also like, then, AI might not, they might not get the most value from what I do. And that's it. And that's really what my main goal is, for the right people to be exposed to, what I have to offer so that they can get the most value from it. Okay. And so, yeah, so your authentic self is what's going to be that secret sauce, that superpower that you inject into your business, into your everyday life. And it's going to be what differentiates you from anybody else doing basically the same thing you are, right? Because people are just going to resonate with you the more authentic you are, the more you are speaking like yourself, for yourself, and things like that. It's funny because, you guys all decided you wanted to hear my story when I went on my lash riff the other day. You guys wanted to hear my lash story, and I think it kind of plays into what we're talking about here with authenticity. When I used to own a studio back before I got pregnant, I basically did it with like no budget with like the partners I was with. So I really had no budget to go off of. So for this, I basically was like, well, I started my own practice with zero budget. I can teach a bunch of other instructors that also want to have this entrepreneurial kind of role within their business, within, you know, because that's what I think. I thought that everybody kind of thought the way I did, but that's wasn't the case. A lot of instructors don't want to be entrepreneurs, it turns out, which is okay, it's totally fine. You know, employees also are extremely useful and, you know, make the world go round. But what I was building, because I had zero budget, you definitely had to be your own kind of boss. Like the way I set it up is like that time slot was your little business, you know. So I incentivized them and taught them how to really see themselves as that business. And some people, one person in particular was really resistant about it. Sometimes the role just wasn't for them, and that's okay. Like I said, like, you know, if it was something that you were just doing as a little side hustle to get some cash, you go in, you leave, you don't learn anybody's name, then like my studio wasn't for you. It was for somebody that was trying to build something and build relationships. So you know, this person was like really resistant to, I guess, you know, but clearly wanted to be there, but, you know, was really resistant to my methods in terms of like how I was running the place. You know, really resistant to social media and this and that, like all sorts of things. And it's just like, okay, well, like, you know, we don't have any marketing budget. So if you want anybody to come to your class, you're going to have to learn how to market. So I'll teach you how to do that. And, yeah, very resistant. That's all I can say. And she even had a dream, because you guys know I love my lashes. Okay, yeah, she even had a dream that I was forcefully trying to put lashes on her in her dream. And I was like, listen, I don't gotta read between the lines. It's clear, like, you have some kind of resistance towards me, towards like whatever this is. And I guess towards my lashes, like I think like what I encountered a lot in an industry where now I had to like mesh with like a lot of spiritual people, right? A lot of yogis and meditation teachers and things like that, is that is something that I was trying to go against, which is another big part of my values in my business, is that this should be for everybody and anybody. This is a practical thing, and it could be like practicing mindfulness, practicing meditation, manifestation or creation, which is what I like to call it, because again, I use practical language, and I think that that feels better for me, and it feels better for anybody that's going to be attracted to my practice, because it could be off-putting when people don't have that spiritual side to them. And I would love nothing more to put these tools in the hands of more people, especially the ones that need it, the ones that are more like, oh no, like this too woo-woo for me, then great. I love to speak practically and make things practical, easy to understand, because that's what busy people are usually, you know, open to, because like they're not going to sit here and explain, you know, I hear the explanation of a bunch of, you know, spiritual stuff. They just want to know, oh, how do I do that? Okay, great. You don't have to, I don't have to be, you know, I don't know, wearing harem pants and have, I don't know, like what is a meditation teacher or studio owner or whatever supposed to look like, you know, like granola, like I can't have lashes, I can't get highlights and balayage and my nails done, and I can't be like a woke person, you know, like, so it's just funny, and it's something that I encountered a lot, you know, during that time, because I was dealing with a much more spiritual industry, right? And people wanted a lot of things for free in that industry, which is just like, again, something where it's like, you know, you don't believe that, you know, what to me, I'm a very spiritual person, and one of the first things that you learn kind of on your spiritual journey is this law of just giving and receiving energy. So if you just give and you don't receive, you're already kind of fucking up. You know what I mean? You're not embracing the natural laws of this universe, which is giving and receiving. Okay, because not everything is just giving it away just because you know you want to help people. If you want to help people, you empower them to make their own decisions and be in a position that they can also give and receive, right? And you know, and again, like it going back to like the authenticity, it's like you can look however you want and do whatever you want. Like I could run a successful business and have lashes and get balayage and do all these girly things. I don't have to look granola to, I don't know, teach a meditation class or whatever. Like, I used to actually encourage my instructors. They would come from their like regular 9 to 5 jobs to teach on their lunch break, and they would be in like their slacks and like, you know, corporate attire. And it's just like, good. I love that because it shows how practical this practice can be, how it can be for anybody and everybody, no matter what you look like, no matter, you know, if you get your eyelashes done or not. Like, you don't have to look a certain way, right? And again, goes back to like the authenticity. It's like people are going to resonate with you. You don't have to you don't have to change anybody else either, right? You don't have to, you have to, you know, you can be accepting of how people are, and non-judgmental. Right? So that was the time that I got judged for my lashes, and I thought it was quite funny, and it stuck with me as a really interesting teaching moment, right? So yeah, to wrap everything up, yeah, just being your most authentic self is going to be your secret sauce, your superpower to whatever it is that you're doing, whatever it is that you're creating, whatever I mean, like even in relationships, like whatever it is, it's going, like, the more you embrace really who you are, the more the right people are going to be attracted to you and resonate with you. So if you're looking to find out more of who you are, then I definitely recommend a couple of things. One practical thing, which is just a little tool, which is journaling. The more you journal, the more shit comes up, the more you get to know yourself, the more you get to love yourself, the more you get to really understand your authentic self. Practical tool, okay? A more advanced kind of feedback would be go down your self-development journey, like wherever that takes you, whether it's these workouts, my programs that have much self-development in it. I have one that focuses on limiting beliefs. I have one that focuses on creating, you know, the things that you want to create in your life. I have one now that focuses on confidence. So definitely go down the self-development rabbit hole, because I really feel like that's what life is about. So signing off now, you guys. If you have any questions, if you're watching this on replay, please say hi in the comments. Let me know that you liked it, that you didn't like it. I don't care. I'm down for trolls. And yeah, and let me know what you want me to riff on next week. All right, talk soon.